What joke is starting to get old now? Self-deprecating jokes. I appreciate people who can poke fun at themselves, but at this point people seem to think that just saying that they don't have sex or have poor mental health is a joke. Tell me you don't know, without telling me you don't know. And quat, I mean. Fuck that one from Inception. Most of the crap that gets recycled here constantly. Poop knife is the first thing that came to mind. Yeah, people do fucked up shit. We get it. World War II jokes on Reddit. It's just the same 10 jokes all the time that you've seen for ages. I also get the feeling that the people making those jokes feel like they're being very black humory or nearly crossing a line if they do it. But it's so mild and repetitive at this point. I went to the doctor's recently. He said, don't eat anything fatty and quat. I said, what? Like bacon and burgers ? And quat. He said, no. Fatty don't eat anything. And quat. Jokes on how awful the marriage is. My wife talks too much, she's so annoying, I want to watch football, haha, very funny, I'm so repressed and quat. Nowadays if you don't want to stay married there's nothing stopping you to get out of it. John Cena being invisible. You go to the comments to see what people think about the post. But nope. It's all just invisible jokes. This is especially bad on other social media sites. Living the dream and another day in paradise when you ask someone how they're doing. Especially working in retail. Or when an item doesn't scan at the checkout or is missing a barcode and the customer says so that means it's free ? And quat. Not sure it counts as a joke. But asking about which celebrities you dislike. Should be cancelled. Shouldn't be famous. Etc. It's the same damn handful every time. We all know by now. James Corden is a douche. How important is your weight to you? I've always been a thin person, but lately several factors have been causing me to gain extra weight for the first time in my life. I'm almost 32, and I definitely don't like it. The main thing that scares me is just health in general. Because every time I have a chest pain or something I think I'm heading for death. I don't care for the appearance factor either though. Since I've never been fond of my facial features but was always able to be comfortable with my body. Now I don't have either because I have 10 to 20 extra pounds and can't find anything about myself attractive anymore. It used to matter a lot when I used to give in to my family's constant berating of my weight. I really can't do anything about it since I have always been on the slim thick side, but even that is considered fat in my family. Last year one of my aunts gave Amy a dress smaller than my size as a Christmas present and had me promise her that I would lose weight in order to fit into that dress LMFAO. It is unfortunate that it took that event in order for me to not give a fuck about my weight anymore, but I can say that I'm the happiest I've ever been. I am in a relationship and my partner has supported me and helped me change my perspective immensely. I love myself even more than I used to before and even more so without bounds. It matters more than it should unfortunately. I am healthy. Work out. Have a balanced diet and honestly have nothing to complain about my body, but still every time I get on a scale I'm pretty disappointed if it's over a certain number. Even if a few kilos don't change anything in my appearance and, most importantly, health. My weight has been a problem for me for years and I struggled with my own image. And even now that I'm over it I guess that I have been so conditioned to thinking that being skinny is the most important thing for a woman that I still have this little voice in my head saying that I should weigh not more than _20 to look presentable. They see a sad, rundown, or abandoned building and wonder. So what's the story here ? And quat. Yep, in fact. There's this abandoned mansion next to my neighborhood and I really want to know what the deal is. I always ask how many spiders are in there ? And quat. More like, what can we turn this into? But I hear what you are saying. Yup. And I always think of ways to repurpose it. Pretty much. I think that about a lot of other things. Too. Like a level in an obscure game. What is the story behind this specific part of a game? Who created it? What were they feeling at the time? What's the best thing to say when the police pull you over? Deny everything. Please step out of the vehicle and quat. This isn't a vehicle and quat. Do you have a license and registration and quat? I've never even seen a license and registration and quat. We're going to need you to come with us and quat. No you don't _T and quat. I got pulled over. The policeman said, are you the driver of this car? I replied yes, it's automatic but I have to steer it. It didn't go down well. I figure that cops are always going to apprehensive as what type of person is he going to encounter. I try to give benefit of the doubt to the cop that he is a good one. Just doing his job and meet him with respect and smile, letting him know I knew I ran a light, was speeding, etc. It seems to de-escalate everything and immediately puts us both at ease to communicate. I realize that approach isn't for everyone, but being old I have learned that a little uncomfortable extension of respect to the unknown opens doors and sets the stage for good communication. But then, I'm a WW so I don't face the danger that black people face. My buddy got pulled over and the cop asked for his license. Then asked him if it was clean and APOS. My buddy didn't get it. And said I still have my old learner's permit. That might be easier to read. And APOS, we all lost it. Cop 2. He handed it right back and said get out of here and APOS. Shut off the car. Keep your hands on the steering wheel and in view. Open your window as far as you feel comfortable. Don't reach for anything, even your wallet, as cops will see you getting something. But not what it is. When he asks for it/registration, tell him where it is and that you're going to retrieve it. After that, you don't have to explain anything. But the friendlier, more accepting of the situation you are, the smoother it will go. He may even cut you a break. Which grammatical error annoys you the most? Costed. A lot of people overcorrecting on the use of whom. Simon Furman keeps using indigent instead of indigenous in Transformers comics, and bro, those are not synonyms. Don't use words if you don't know what they mean. You're and you're. There, and there. You're mean you are and there means they are and quat. One of my family members made a post that said something along the lines of, thank you for your prayers. And quat. So basically the sentence is, thank you for your prayers. And quat. Not capitalizing sentences and forgetting to use periods, and I also really cannot stand run-on sentences. They drive me insane, but not as much as the other two things. When someone uses he or she / they and I at the end of a sentence when it's supposed to be me. And quat. I feel like people think they're actually correct because you use I at the beginning of a sentence. A good general rule of thumb is to remove the other pronoun to see if I or me is correct. I would say the most annoying grammatical error I come across is the misuse of the apostrophe. People tend to use apostrophes incorrectly when forming plurals, possessives, and contractions. An example of this would be using an apostrophe when forming a plural such as cookies when it should be cookies and quat. I work for a major retail company in the returns area. I've worked in 4 different stores. All 4 have labeled the stationery department as stationery. It's so mundane. But for 4 different stores to make the same mistake, it makes me feel like I'm losing my mind. Misusing the word myself and quat. Shit like come join Jason and myself at the water park makes my ears bleed. Hey folks. There are many instances when me is correct. I was taught that myself should only be used when the speaker is both the subject and the object of the sentence. I will do it myself. And quat.